We've got a few minutes left in the show, and I just want to tie this back into the I am. It's just a coincidence that improv and I am starts with the same letter, but um, the I am is saying that we're all doing the best we can. That at every moment in time we are doing the best we can with the potential to change in the very next second to another best we can. This is your current maximum potential. This is who I am, and I matter. The I am is influenced by four domains. Our home domain, we all know that the home has had an influence on who you are. The social domain, which is the rest of the world, especially, right now we're talking about that social domain where you as your family may bring your home into a theater space and share an experience with each other in a remarkable social domain. And that affects your biological domain because you know that it feels something when you're sitting in a theater and you're either laughing or crying or wondering what will happen next. This is your biological domain at play. And then the I see domain. How do I see myself? How do I think other people see me? And I can tell you from personal experience in the theater, there is nothing like being up on stage and at the end of the show having an audience applaud. This is part of what we are doing with Drug-Free Theater, is where we're giving these kids the pleasure of that experience. And that pleasure is directly related to you. Because when you, the audience, are applauding our kids, you are reminding them of their value. And for them, I am delighted to say that is better than drugs and alcohol. Because these four domains interconnect, a small change can have a big effect. You don't need to change everything. So I want to ask both of our guests, with your experience with theater, with improvisational, what small change can you recommend to our audience? Josh, I'm going to start with you this time. What small change can you recommend to our audience? Hopefully, to talk about maybe getting through COVID.
The small change that I was about to say is completely the opposite for getting through COVID advice.
Then go with that, Josh. This is
uh,
improvisation. Let's talk about that one.
I was about
What
to
small change?
take the chance, because in improv, it is about taking those chances, right? It's about saying, I'm going to do something a little weird or something that I just popped into my head and I'm going to roll with it. And I'm going to trust that the people around me are going to roll with it too. And of course, when it comes to COVID, you don't want to take the chance.
Good point. Good point.
Please don't take the chance. But I think that after doing my thing at the Improv Theater for well over a decade at this point, I think that, and I'm not a performer, but I work very much with the performers as a tech now as the managing director. The biggest takeaway that I've been able to get from it is that every single thing you can do is essentially a trust fall where you can catch yourself. If you just say, I'm going to take this chance and I'm going to do it, whether it's, I really do want that meatball sandwich for lunch. Something as small and inconsequential as that, or I'm going to just make a career change and everything's going to be great. And sometimes you mess it up and you just keep on going, but you took the chance and you figured it out. And I think that's the change I push to people all the time. Just take those steps.
Yeah. Yeah. Zoe, what about you? What small change you recommend?
If it's a change exactly, but I think I just want to emphasize how important it is to, as an audience member, to accept the fact that it is a changing world. And, we have always been about diversity, about people of color fitting in, about people of who are maybe a little bit different fitting in. And we're going to continue to give you entertainment as you've expected, but you're going to also see the unexpected, and be ready for the change, because this is like I say, it's a changing world. Things are fast moving, and people. I just going to say, open your hearts and your minds, because we're still gonna knock your socks off. We're still going to bring you traditional entertainment. We're also going to bring you new things, and I think, as people become involved, they'll see the richness of diversity, and that diversity can be in any capacity. I think that's really special, and something that people can look forward to.
Dr. Joe, if I may.
Please, Ben.
Yeah, so as I was saying in the off-air chat, I was also displaced from the live event industry. So I just wanted to chime in a little bit with this because what you folks are doing is the ultimate form of art. Theater is one of the most important things, in my opinion at least, on this planet. We don't have that, we lose a lot culturally. Now, where I came from was actually more on the corporate side. I was a large venue projectionist. For one thing, as well as working with the tech end of pretty much everything else. So, Josh, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. All the buttons and knowing what they do. It's a very scary situation, folks. And Tom, you can back me up on that too. But I just wanted to say in that regard, we talk a lot about this on WMEX 1510 AM, had to throw the plug out there, about the live event industry, where really, I mean, when you consider the bills and whatnot that were passed recently, and I say recently like it was yesterday, we're talking a few months ago at this point, it didn't do much for those 1099s out there. It didn't do much for the folks that literally their entire life's income is based solely upon this 1099 status, and the government did not recognize that. And a lot of us are still, I mean, I know people that are 40 plus years in this industry have not had a paycheck since March of last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I was one of those unfortunate ones that one day the boss just called a meeting in the middle of the warehouse. We're all working on whatever it was. And he said, guys, girls, you don't work here no more. Sorry. Bye. You know, and it was the unfortunate reality. And I know we're coming up on the end of the show here, but I just wanted to say, bless you guys for doing what you're doing and keeping theater and art alive, because it's one of the most important aspects that we could ever save. So hold on, don't ever let go, and we back you 110% across the WATD network.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ben.
Thank
And
you.
you know,
Step up my
it really,
yeah?
it gets to the second part of the I am, which you talked about a little bit earlier. You control no one, you influence everyone. Josh, I'm going to start with you again and then end with Zoe. What kind of influence are you hoping you will be?
You know, I was struggling with this when you sent it out earlier. I'm still not entirely sure what I'm going to say, so I'm going to make it up as I go. This is how I do things.
Improv. Improv at its best, folks, right here on the Dr. Joe Show.
You know, I have taken a lot of pride over the years in the fact that I'm a person who likes to just show up and get things done, and I want it to be very quiet, and I don't make a big fuss over it. And my goal is that you never know I was there, except for the fact that something now works or is done. And it's always been that way. Things just get done, like the stage is painted or the theater is all of a sudden not broke. And I think that what I would like for, you know, me, for Improv Boston to continue to be is just the theater that gets stuff done. At the start of the pandemic, when we were one of the first people out there to be doing online shows, we just spun them around and did it.
So that's the influence of innovation.
Yep.
And that, you know, that is incredible, especially in this day and age, because adaptation is innovation. Zoe, we've got 1 minute left. How about
Okay,
you?
I'll just say renaissance. It's going to feel like a renaissance when we reopen. And, you know, but the influencing starts with tiny, tiny things. You're a mentor, you're, and you don't even realize it sometimes. You're, you know, somebody comes in the door and 20 years later, they're telling you what an experience they had. So
That's right.
keep on doing what we're doing.
You both are heroes. And please, folks, donate. Go to those sites. Let's keep theater alive.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week with the Dr. Joe Show. Thanks, and happy birthday, Ben.
Thanks, Dr. Joe. Have a great night, everyone.
You too.
Thank you, Dr. Joe.
Stretch